move forward to our other speaker, Mr. Imran Sultan, who is an urban practitioner and a civil servant. We all know that urbanism is a great problem nowadays with the increasing population, the problem of housing and the pollution, and nowadays we're suffering from heavy smog. So how these problems in terms of gender, smog, pollution, and the planning it is dealt with, let's listen to talk of Mr. Imran Sultan. Thank you so very much, Mr. Imran Sultan, for joining us. I hope our audience will be gaining a lot from you.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning, Global Studies Department, GCUL Lahore. I'm super excited to share fundamental perspectives that how global ideas influence urban planning and development. I'm Imran Sultan, urban development practitioner, and I'm thankful to Dr. Saima Khan for giving me this amazing opportunity. Before that we go deeper into the technical things of urban planning, I would like to start a story that all of us have heard. That is Alice and the two characters, Alice and Cat. Alice has lost his way, and she asks from a cat that which way this path goes. Cat says, where you want to go. Alice says, I don't know where to go. Cat says, then it hardly matters which way you go. Global perspectives give us that path where we want to lead our state, our nation, our cities, ourselves. That's why understanding our world perspective, understanding our neighbor's perspective, understanding our city's perspective, and understanding our internal perspective is so fundamental for what kind of life we want to live. Coming to urban planning and how the global perspective has been influencing, you know that our most developed city, the most planned city is Islamabad. And it was developed, the idea behind it, how the way you think that, all the grid pattern, that was developed like this by the Greek architect Doxidus. But it didn't come only from the Greek architect. Historically, it started very important event, the London fire in 1666, when half of the London was erupted into a fire, because at that time, the building materials used to be wood-based and the buildings used to be very rare. From there emerged new urban planning standard that started from Philadelphia, where they came with a grid pattern where the roads were created as a buffer. So from these Americas, the idea came to Barcelona, Europe, that how you can have a grid pattern and keep a distance from your neighboring blocks of building so that in case of any emergency, you can stay protected. Then from London, an issue, the idea went for having a separate and far away building, went to America, Philadelphia, and Barcelona, and in so many other cities like Canberra, New Delhi, Brasilia, so many other cities was developed on this pattern. And then in Pakistan, Islamabad also came up with the planning of grid pattern. So see how the other perspectives in other world, what is happening, influence the kind of life, the kind of urban planning we have. Urban planning, urban development has so many other areas, starting from environment, building control, development, public spaces, housing, solid waste management. In each sector of this urban development, it is right now being influenced how that other world, other cities, other planners are thinking. And what it's important that we also know that you have to understand it, what kind of the world you are going to able to live. See that in 2050s, most of the development is taking place in South Asia and Africa. That's why these will be the area which will be facing maximum urbanization challenges, and that's why they will be the hotbed of new ideas. And this is the thing which actually shows that what kind of the times we'll be living. No, looking at some of the problem that our cities and facing, and it's nothing new. There's nothing special into that. Being citizens, you and I daily face these kind of problems in our city. So I'm just sharing you quickly a report from Economic Intelligence that is placing Pakistan cities, Karachi and other among the most less livable cities in the world. And again, that if we look at the smog issues in Lahore, the way we are shutting schools so that kids should not come into school and having an environmental hazard because of smog. So if we talk about the garbage issues, that how these kind of problems are really making our cities a bad place. But if you see that how other cities are tackling with this, and similarly from this waste, they are coming up with such a important material. They're recycling this material for many of the things which we all use in daily life. So it means that our problems can be converted into a solution. Another problem that how slowly the mushrooming growth of our cities and eating out our agriculture area, there at the forest area, beautiful clean water, rivers, freshwater streams. So majority of the problems are actually making our cities less livable. Another important issue is the kind of transportation problems we are having, how much it becomes difficult for men and then for women to move from one place to other. That's why many urban planners say about cities of Pakistan that these cities had been built by men for the men. So if we are having these kind of problems like smog issues, air pollution, solid waste management issues, then our cities are continuously expanding itself, or transportation issues, we have to see that how the other world is trying to solve it. Maybe we can understand their perspective and bring those solutions to our country. For example, for the unstoppable urban growth, Korea, the Seoul has come up with this idea. They've put a red line around their city and said that no, we are not going to expand our city further than that, and they're developing the cities far away. And then they're coming with a green belt around the cities so that they're putting over there the agriculture, they're putting gardens, public parks, or forests so that the environment can be remain balanced. Then again, for example, if the glacier is melting and they are coming up with a flooding in our urban area, so one side we are having a problem in our Gilgit-Baltistan that are in GB, a lot of glaciers are quickly depleting. On the contrary, in China, if we see, then they have started covering the glacier so that they can stop their melting. If we talk about how other world is trying to protect the agriculture area. So this is the news. On my right is a few months back when many of our young youth people who were just crossing the Mediterranean, unfortunately, they got drowned. These were the sons, and they were coming from such soil which is highly enriched for agriculture. On the contrary, in Saudi Arabia, they are converting their desert into an agricultural area. That's why remember from where we started our story, that it depends that where you want to move. That people who are having a lot of good agricultural area, they're leaving their country, and countries which don't have, they have a good agricultural area, they have a desert, they convert it into agricultural area. So it will depend really that where we want to go, where we want to progress. I wanted to share some of the historical and theoretical things also, that how with the passage of time the global thought has influenced the development in so many other areas. For example, you will see a lot of things in economics and other fields also, that Adam Smith came in 1700th century and he said that there should be a market-led growth. Then in 1940s, 50s, Keynes' model of development was the main, that they said the government should be leading the development. Then again in the 70s and 80s, 1970s, 80s, Thatcher and Reagan came, that they again said that no, market-based growth should be there. And all of these development have been really influencing how we develop our cities, how we develop our countries. Then, after the turn of the centuries, the world came up with the idea of Millennium Development Goal that really impacted any country's growth strategy. Right now, we are living in the era of SDGs, where that Sustainable Development Goals, and we try to link every indicator of development with one of the goals. So see, that whatever is happening in the other world, other thinkers, they definitely impact, those perspectives really impact that what kind of the growth strategy, what kind of the development model we want to follow. Two quick books. One from 1770s, Adam Smith, when he said that there should be a market-led growth. Other book, which I'm sharing with you, and that is just coming in 2021, that's The Return of the State. And it makes a point that the state should be leading any country, or for that matter, a city development. Then again, I want to just shift the point towards the economic side also, that how the emerging theories in economics and environment is going to impact your and my life in an upcoming 20, 30 years. For example, Marian Mazzucato is writing extensively on the importance of the role of state. And then Kate Roberts, the recent book that is coming up with the donut model of economics. And that actually explains on the analogy of the donut that whenever you want to enjoy the donut, the sweetness and the taste of the donut is in the middle portion. If you see in the center, there's air and anything, and there's nothing. And if you just go out of that, outside the circle, there's air and there's nothing. And based upon that, she came up with the idea that there should be one social foundation. And if you go under that, it means that there will be a shortfall of food, health, water, energy, so many things. And if you cross the ecological ceiling, that you don't take care of environment, that definitely you will be hurt by the climate change, ocean acidification, ozone layer depletion, air pollution, biodiversity loss, and so many other things. So the best part, that if you want to really enjoy your life in your cities, in your country, so stay in a greener portion, that try to have a balance of your economy and your environment. Where that the life of the cities, of your own life, will be much more sustainable. Then again, that as I said, that our cities are continuously expanding. That's why a lot of other models are coming. For example, making cities compact. Then again, that as you know, that in Lahore we have made Orange Train or Metro Bus. That idea of putting a mass transit system for the citizen is coming up with an international global model of transit-oriented development, where you develop the mass transit and then you put the development around that. Then again, you can see that how these global ideas really influence development. And there's so many other things, there's so many other models of development that are being taught globally, and somehow or other it is impacting how we will be developing our cities, or maybe in future how our cities will look like. For example, is a model of 90-minute cities, that where you expand your city in a way that whatever the smaller cities around you are, you make a big metropolitan region. And you can see now that Lahore has expanded, and it is touching Sheikhupura, Kasur, and other nearby areas. And then you put a light-speed rail and try to connect these multiple cities. So that model is actually in sync with the 90-minute city approach. Then in 30-minute city, this is another that a lot of other countries and their cities are approaching this model. This is that you have a rapid bus, you do the ride sharing, you look for accessibility and try to connect every facility that is available within the 30 minutes city model. Then Paris has recently come up and they are trying to transform their city on a 15-minute city model that actually depend upon the neighborhood level. You have a lot of walkability and bicycle. It says that, for example, if you have to go for a grocery shopping, or you want to go for any health activity, or you want to drop your kids, every that kind of fundamental needs of household should be located within a 15-minute city. And just to improve your streets, the way you come up, the moment you come out of your doorstep, in order to address that kind of problem, the approach of 1-minute city is coming, that Sweden is following. It means that I try to transform your streets and way that you change it in a way that you can come up with a quick adaptation. In the picture, you can see that a lot of sitting area, bicycling area, green area that is being provided just at your doorstep. And then I thought that maybe a lot of other things which it's not about modeling, a lot of other countries and cities which have adopted much of this idea and then slowly are progressing. For example, our neighboring country, India, they have the world's biggest slum and lot of poverty. And these are some of the picture that how that slum used to look like. But gradually they started improving it, and they putting a small street, clean drinking water, and others they started putting. And you can see a lot of blocks on the left side of picture. Uh, for the homeless and poor people, they came up with a high rise, and you can see that now they, how they're really transforming poor people life. And again, the normally in our cities, if you look around, we don't have a playground and these kind of facility. But putting high rise and increasing the urban density, they are saving a space to give the people an open air they can enjoy, and kids can play around nearby their homes. Then another city, Rio de Janeiro, that have a lot of issues that they didn't have a space to put the road. So they come up with an innovative idea of the kind of cable car you see in Murray. They really started putting the same thing was done in Rio de Janeiro also, and in Colombia, Medellin also, that once they were not able to give the roads for the people's accessibility, then they started coming up with the transportation through the cable car. So see that how people really think innovatively and try to change. Then it's again a thought that the poor places should not deprive of the really good enjoyments of the life. That's why same in Medellin, you can see it's a really poor area, but you can see on the background the black beautiful architecture where the public libraries, the theaters, the community halls are being developed for those people so that we can have a more equality. Then again, whenever we see that cities are expanding and there are certain places that are depleting, this is nothing new only for Lahore, Karachi, Rawalpindi, or our Pakistan cities. A lot of the Western world also face these kind of problems. For example, in Germany, Hafen city, they had a problem that they have a big lot on the corner of the city, which was since ages